Leads the league in information today, as always. Yes, early morning for the Italian-American Prince.
JP, look out, JP. He's got the board in full throttle this morning.
Yes.
I like Italian boys with muscle.
Oh, then JP is your flavor.
Stai attenzione in Italian. They say watch. Stai attenzione.
Hey, we have some information. You have some information for us, better stated, on some of the better position battles, as we are just about a week and a half away from pitchers and catchers reporting to camp. It's amazing that we're there already. There are position battles all over Major League Baseball, as we know. So we're going to ask you to identify what you think are among the best out there at infield, at the pitcher spot, starting ranks specifically, and in the outfield. Let's start with what you think is one of the better infield position battles around camps.
Well, Matt, I'm going to welcome Harold back to the show with one that we've been talking about a lot on Hot Stove. This is sort of the best of Hot Stove this winter. The Vaughn Grissom conversation with the Atlanta Braves. And Harold was on this. He was telling us back in November, check this on the soundboard. He said, hey, don't be surprised if Swanson signs somewhere else and Vaughn Grissom steps in as the Braves shortstop in 2023. Well, Grissom is going to have a chance to do that. It sounds like it's going to be a competition in spring training between Grissom and Orlando Arcia to have that starting spot at shortstop for the Atlanta Braves. And I'm told, Harold, that Brian Snitker and the Braves are going to emphasize the defensive side of the baseball with this decision, because you consider where the Braves lineup is, how much depth they've got, all the talent at the top. The shortstop will probably bat somewhere in the bottom third of the lineup. So when that's the case, you can prioritize the defensive side of the game. And Harold, you've talked about this before. Ron Washington has been working with Grissom since last year to get comfortable at shortstop.
He's going to be their guy. He's going to show out with one of the top shortstops in the league. He's that talented.
And it's not like he's just a glove first guy either.
No, he can hit.
He's got an offensive upside as well. All right, so that's a good one. Shortstop in Atlanta. Let's get to that starting pitcher battle. Where, in which camp, is there the most intriguing storyline?
Let's stay in the National League East. Andrew Painter possibly securing a spot in the Phillies rotation this spring. Now, the Phillies, a lot of urgency there. Of course, they're not going to have Harper to begin the season. And when you consider the National League East, there is zero margin for error. It should be a really strong three-way race all season long. And Andrew Painter, just 20 years young, he is someone that, even though he doesn't have a ton of minor league experience, is really polished. A great fastball slider combination, 6'7", 215. He has the look of a future ace. Guys, there is as much anticipation for Andrew Painter right now as there was for Cole Hamels before he arrived in Philadelphia. I'm not going to say that he'll have the same career as Hamels, World Series MVP and everything that Hamels achieved, but the buzz and the excitement is comparable because of the polish of this young pitcher in Andrew Painter. And I'll say this too, guys. You look at the president of baseball operations there in Philadelphia, Dave Dombrowski. He has never been afraid to take talented pitchers who are young onto his major league roster. I think back, I was covering the Tigers back in the spring of 2009. Rick Porcello, who had not started a game above high class A, was 20 years old, made the opening day roster. It's the same person calling the shots now. Andrew Painter has a legitimate chance to break camp with the Phils.
It's the same season that Leland kicked you out of the manager's office for asking an annoying question. Am I right about that?
That's exactly right, Matt. Well done.
Let's get to another position battle, the outfield, and the team and player that you think is the most intriguing there.
Jared Kelenic, the proud native of the state of Wisconsin, has a chance to at least win that platoon spot in left field. And again, Harold, by the way, was doing some great advanced reporting on this by being in Seattle. I'm sure he's got a strong take on how this is going to play out. But it's probably going to be either Kelenic or Taylor Trammell who will be the platoon partner for A.J. Pollock in left field for the Mariners. And I want to stress that Kelenic is still a relatively young player. He is younger than Jeremy Pena, for example, in terms of how young he still is. He just arrived in the major leagues early. He has not been able to replicate his minor league success at the major league level, but by all accounts, he's had a really strong offseason of work. and he's ready to compete for this spot on a team that has, as Harold knows, really strong plans of competing for not just a division, but a World Series title potentially here in 2023. And I think it helps, Harold. You've got Julio Rodriguez in center. You've got Teoscar Hernandez in right. There should be plenty of power on this team. You think about France and Suarez. It's a nice, comfortable situation for Kelenic to step into and potentially win a spot, and maybe, much like Grissom, bat in the bottom third of Seattle's lineup.
Yeah, boy, you forget about Colton Wong being there, too. Man, Seattle has done a lot of great things in the offseason. JP, good stuff. Thank you. I'm going to ask you, Harold, of those and maybe another one that's in your brain, where do you think the most intriguing position battle may lie?
I think it's in New York with the Yankees. What's going to happen at short?
Okay.
And what's going to happen at second? Where's DJ LeMahieu's back, but you have Rizzo playing first, and you have a third baseman. So you can't just, what are you going to do? So you got Gleyber Torres who's playing, can't play short. So that's going to be interesting to see what the Yankees end up doing.
Yeah.
In that scenario. That's what I looked at when I thought we were going to talk about battles.
I would say same division. It's not really a position battle per se, but I still want to see what the Red Sox are going to do with Justin Turner, given that Rafael Devers is going to be there for the next 70 years.
Yeah.
Right? He's not going to play third base instead of Rafi Devers unless they just, need days to get him off his feet. I mean, one of those guys will DH occasionally. I know that they have some versatility there where Turner can play second, but that's going to be an interesting one as well.
And I think back to JP's point on Painter, we saw a lot of young guys break in last year, and teams have kind of gotten away from that, holding them back until they get, till May and different things like that. And they're letting the young guys play. And I think that's an important factor in this whole thing. And he'll also get a chance to be seen more because of WBC. The WBC will settle a lot of these battles because there's a lot of guys going to be gone from camp.
Yeah.
And those younger players or those guys battling are going to be in front of those organizations every day.
It's amazing that we are a week and a half away from starting to get some details when camps open and pitchers and catchers are